17.4. My only concern is the level in which we are trying to go long. Our breakout level is a 4-hour level. That's my only concern. So there's a high probability we come up, we reject this 4-hour level, start to sell through aggressively. All right. So just in case that does happen, whether I take the trade or not, if I take the trade and take a loss, or if I don't take the trade and it does start to reject and come down, I'll be able to know better based on that volume coming in at the moment. But that's where I will look to go short at 25, 614, and 617.4 on QQQ. I will be looking to take a breakout for puts or NQ shorts there if that is what ends up happening. You can see as of right now on a 5-minute time frame, we're forming a downtrend here based off of that 4-hour level. So that's my thesis. That's my thought process. Yes, I see it's a very strong support level from yesterday. Do not want to deny that. Totally see it playing out. But that's why I think opening up perfectly would have been opening up like here at 617. And we could have taken a breakout of that consolidation break from yesterday's high. And realistically, we could have caught a move like that. You know what I mean? That's the best setups for the market open trades. So we'll keep an eye on that. But as of now, breakout for puts at those levels I just mentioned, or I'll be looking for a breakout for calls at 25, 640, or 618.2. Right. So you can also use my breakout level as a break and retest. So if you don't like that game plan, if you're like, dude, James, that's a 4-hour level, bro, that's kind of risky. There's a good likelihood that gets rejected, and you're like, I don't want to be a part of that. I don't like the risk to reward there. Then I understand. You can just simply watch for a 5-minute candle close above the level, comes down, retest the level, boom, you can take that entry if you like it. Tesla. I would like to see a bounce on Tesla of 485.6. Right. Bounce of 485.6 or a breakout of 488. I think I meant to say 486.5. I think that's what I meant to say. Where did I get? Nope, I meant 485.6. Previous day low. That's why. Previous day low. 485.4.6. A bounce of that level or a breakout of 488 for calls. That's what I'll be watching for in Tesla. The only way I'd go short on Tesla is a break and retest of 483 because we might come down and bounce 43. So I need to see a 5-minute candle close below 483, and then I could get in for a short trade. Meta, if it gets above this, I don't have anything. But the only thing I was actually watching on Meta just to see if it would reject the 660 area and start to sell through. So rejection of that level. I have that on watch as well. We will have some news today. We have some Fed news, a lot of things 30 minutes into open. The other news later might move the market pretty well, but this is the only thing we'll actually be thinking about. So I'm hoping we're done by the 30 minutes. But if that 30-minute news later on, let's say there's just no more trades and then the 30-minute occurs and there's still no more moves after that, we're going to call it there. No reason to sit around if there's no setups. All right. Especially if news drops and there's still no setups. Definitely best to just take a walk away. Hopefully you guys saw yesterday what I was talking about in terms of, consolidation. Usually the move at the open is the only move, especially on weeks like this. And as you can see, that could not have held more true for you guys yesterday. Beautiful trades that we had yesterday, but you can see that last one, which was a trade idea, because obviously I didn't trade this. When I was just like, look, you could try to go short here. The whole point is taking a rejection of 725. As you can see, it's rejected 725 perfectly. And all I said was I would just be cautious when you get down here to 636 because of that order block. There's going to be a support area there. And sure enough, that's exactly where the market bounced. And then sure enough, the market just did pinball with my levels the rest of the day. Not much movement. That's exactly what I was talking about yesterday, telling some of you guys, like, dude, if you get one winning trade on a week like this, there's nobody really trading this week, man, take your win and walk away. All right. I will be going for even shorter profit targets today, guys, just because of where we're opening up at. I'm going to be going for 30% and or 30 points majority exit on my trades today. Not sizing heavy, Not doing anything crazy. I'm just trying to take a plus trading setup. I'm trying to be one and done. If I see two setups happen at the same time, I'll be happy to take both of them, but just keep that in the back of your head. Okay. Don't, today's not the day to be like, all right, I want to sell half my position at 20 points or 20%. And then I want to sell, a little bit at 40. And then I want to sell a little bit at 70. And then I'm going to go for 100. I'm going to leave some runners for 200. It's just not conducive to your success to do it on a day like this where there's relatively low volume. Nothing's in a really good opening range. And there's a high probability of dealing with a lot of chop, a lot of pullback. So um, just something to keep in mind. Next week, it will open up much, much more. Okay. Mm. All right. And then Microsoft. I had it down here. The setup on Microsoft, I really like um, a breakout of 46.3. I like this pre-market high level, how it's shy of all the highs it's formed. Actually, I'm just going to leave pounds here down there. I'll just redraw it up here. Each chart cell has its own memory. So that's why you don't see Microsoft levels here, but you see it down there. Um, Basically, I just want to see a break of that pre-market high. And I love how the levels above it are they're pretty far away. The only things I'm concerned about is that 48, 49.57. That's really it. And we got this strong support level right here. But what I'm wanting to do, again, break out of 46.35, take that ride up. Again, I'm looking for that consolidation breakout to the upside. And then we got the meta game plan, a rejection of 660 on watch. Tesla's doing my game plan right now ahead of time. It's at 48 break. All right. Let's get the contracts ready here. I'm going to have 620 calls on QQQ. And if I'm going short, I'm going to have the 616 puts. Actually, I'm going to do the 617s. 617 puts. Tesla, you could still do the 500 calls on Tesla. Where we're at, we could still do the 500 calls. Meta for the divergence play would be the 590 puts. Sorry, did I type 590? I think I did type that, didn't I? 650 puts. Might have to change that really fast. Meta rejection of no, I did. I put 650 puts. Okay, good. And Microsoft will be the 490 calls. Let me change this over here. Or not. Yes. Ready. Oh my gosh. Oh, Tesla. Tesla and Meta happening in the pre-market here. We do go short. I kind of like the Tesla 475 puts. If you go short on Tesla. Nvidia is getting really strong with the market here. As of now, this is making me super inclined to try to get into longs at the open currently for both Tesla and QQQ and Q. If I have to select between those two, I will select of Meta as well. I'll select those two and I'll leave Meta to the side. Meta is doing my 660 rejection perfectly. It's just I'm very cautious about the 650, 750 level for a possible bounce. So we'll keep that in mind. Again, just like yesterday, it might move a little quick. So if you rely on my call out, it might cause you to be a little late to the trade, which means the trade would have to nuke for you to be profitable as well. Just keep that in mind. All right, market's open here. QQQ guys, 620 calls. Phil, it's exactly what I'm talking about. It's just ripping straight up. Phil on the 620 calls is 69 cents a contract. We're already up to 89 cents a contract. I'm taking a trim here on QQQ. I'm also in on Tesla, the Tesla 500 calls. My fill on Tesla's 500 calls, we're right at $3.55 a contract. We're sitting here at 415. I'm taking my first trim here on Tesla. I'm actually going to sell majority of the position on Tesla. I'm sold the majority on Tesla. QQQ, I'm selling another portion right here on QQQ, guys. This is $1.12 a contract currently on QQQ. This is flowing absolutely beautifully here. It's kind of like a freight train so far. This is exactly what we wanted. So it's NQ longs, QQQ calls. Let me go ahead and draw this out right now. Basically, right off the open entry. All right. And then Tesla. All right. Trimming one more time here. 74 points on QQQ and Q. $1.40 a contract, guys. Already 100%. 100% profit. I'm trying not to get excited, but that was pretty cool, wasn't it? Stop losses at entry. 100% profit in 1 minute. In 1 minute. That's 100% profit. Following our game plan, going over the execution, trading based off of order flow. That is exactly how you're supposed to trade right there. That's exactly how you're supposed to trade. Tesla stop loss is also going to be at entry. Mine is not. So let me fix that really fast. Hold on. My stop loss. Okay. All right. My stop loss is at entry now. I gotta record this. I don't think it's happened that fast in a while. All right. Guys, give me some emoji reactions. Give me some emoji reactions. All right. So we caught the plan right off the open. We got a bunch of people that are done already. It's 2 minutes into market open, as you can see right here. Our game plan was a breakout of this key level to the upside. I told everybody I might get into calls right at the open. And sure enough, we're sitting here 89 points in profit and over 100% on QQQ. Beautiful trade so far. Just keeping it transparent. Douchebag mode over. Cringe mode over. Keep an eye on your Tesla contracts. Keep an eye on your Tesla contracts wherever you got filled at. All right. It's more than likely come back and stopped you at entry because it stopped me at entry, and I got a pretty good entry. So Tesla, though, the reason I took a majority exit, guys, on Tesla at 491.5, if a lot of you remember, the last few days we've been struggling hard when we got close to this. Where is it at? See right here. Keep an eye on the market too. The market's having an aggressive pullback here. I have the smallest amount of contracts remaining on this QQQ trade, by the way. I have 5% of my position left on QQQ. 5%. I'm really glad a bunch of you guys took that. Because I get nervous sometimes that, not for me, for you guys, I get nervous that basically you guys won't trust me and you won't take the setup when I call it out. So, but I also understand, I remember what it was like. So, but let me show you why that 491.5, the reason we took a big chunk exit up there. You guys look at this last 2 days right here. Look at last Thursday and last Friday. You guys see how we rejected this area pretty harshly almost immediately? And then it followed a pretty big retracement, pretty big dump. That's what I was concerned about. So that's why if some of you are wondering, James, what made you want to stay in QQQ, but what made you want to cut Tesla so quick? It's because of that 491.5 level. So just need to wait for a 5-minute candle close to paint us a prettier picture on both of these setups. NVIDIA also rocketed, but that makes sense because the market did. Meta ended up snapping right through the level, but also kind of goes with my initial analysis. If you guys remember right before the market opened, I said I will basically be choosing Tesla and QQQ over Meta. I'm going to kind of skip Meta. And it was simply because I was very concerned about, well, the bounce area down here. So Palantir did another nuke off the open here. How did Microsoft do? I didn't take Microsoft. Did anyone take this? That Microsoft breakout? Anybody take that breakout? Can you tell me how you did? If you did take it? All right, guys. For anyone not in this trade on NQQQQ, we got to watch for a retest for you folks. So I'll try to help you take an entry here if you didn't take my first entry. Here's the thought process. If you enter here, little sketchy. I think you wait for a retest of 25,671 and or if this candle flips red to green, you could take that for a breakout to the upside. Well, it's kind of performing pretty well here, isn't it? Whenever I call it a trade and I'm in the trade and I know just based on experience, I know there are other people that are not in the trade. I like to give trade ideas for you to possibly get in, kind of like playing a more conservative style. Which is why you'll see me talk about things like, hey, you could look for a retest of 671, and for some of you that think like that could never happen, there's no way it pulls back that far and continues to move. You'd be surprised. That's exactly what happened yesterday. If you guys remember, or was it yesterday? No, it was 6. What day was that from? Here. This is what it was. So from Friday. Friday, we did the same thing. We nuked off the open. It was an incredible trade. And when that candle closed, I told myself, I knew there were students that were not in the trade. So I said, look, the only other thing I can think about is a retest of that key level. You could look for an entry. And sure enough, boom. Look at that. Over 100 points just from that retest. So don't underestimate the market's ability to pull back, come to a support level, give you an entry. Now, that's why I also will give a more aggressive style of entry, kind of like this candle when I said, or you could take the red to green breakout, right? So it was selling through. You could take the red to green, which means you would have entered at 706. You can see now it's pushed up to 29. So you got 23 points out of this. You could have sold some or you're sitting at your stop at entry, whatever. But there's a more aggressive way to take these trades and there's a more conservative way. Obviously, if you're waiting on conservative setups, i.e. break and retests, yes, you will definitely avoid more fake outs. That is without a doubt. You will avoid getting faked out quite a bit. But you also have to be a very patient trader that is okay with missing the move. Because if this never comes down and retests the level, if this thing just keeps ripping, there's nothing you can do. There's truly nothing you can do. But you have to be okay with that because you told yourself, look, I wanted to sit out. I didn't want to expose myself to the breakout risk today. And you should have a reason for that. For reasons X, Y, and Z, I did not want to take this trade. But I do like the break and retest per se of 25,671 for reasons X, Y, and Z. The whole point of having 3 reasons to enter a trade is it's telling you in your head, it's forcing you to think out that trade and ask yourself, what am I really expecting to happen in this trade? What's my game plan? What's my risk? What's my profit target? What's my entry criteria? What's my exit criteria? Things like that. When those things start running through your head, you start becoming very selective about trading and you stop treating it like gambling and you start treating it like a business. I mean, imagine if I open a retail store and I give all of my t-shirts away to my friends for free because it's cool. I'm like, I don't want to charge my friends. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be a salesman to my friends. Over time, because I'm not treating it like a business, I'm treating it like a hobby, I start to lose on a lot of revenue. I start to get really wrecked. And the ironic part is those are the people who are probably going to support you anyway. So kind of think about it from that regards. Treating it like a business as opposed to a hobby, it's going to set you up for success a lot better in the long run. If you show up to this treating it like a hobby and you're like, I'll take James's call out sometimes. Other times I'll just YOLO my own trades. I don't really care about position sizing and I'm never going to journal. I guarantee you, there's no guarantees of trading, but I can almost assure you, you will struggle quite a bit. You will struggle. And it's because of that mindset that you're treating it like a hobby. But when you shift the perspective to treating it like a business, everything starts to make sense. You remove the emotion from the equation. So again, the retail person that owns a t-shirt store, when I remove emotion from the equation, all of a sudden I'm no longer handing out these shirts to my friends for free because that doesn't make sense. Same thing with trading. Showing up to trading with no game plan, no risk management, and not journaling what I did wrong makes no sense. It almost ensures that I will not grow in any regard. It ensures I'm basically just showing up with a roulette with options or futures and hoping it hits. And then the unfortunate part is hoping it hits multiple times in a row, which we all know that is not how gambling works, right? You might get lucky once or twice, but not every day. So, but that's where this kind of comes into play. I remember when I first started doing this, I actually had a one of the bigger traders out there. He told me, he said, "Dude, you trading at the open is gambling." And I said, "Well, that you say that because you don't know how to read order flow." I said, "I can definitely see that because you don't know how to read volume properly, so that's what you think." And this was, I'm telling you, this was in the very beginning. This was like, gosh, I don't know, 10 days in, last December, 10 days into me starting this group. And he told me, he's like, "You're not going to be able to keep this up." He said, "Time will tell. You'll see." And here we are a year later, massive win streak, almost non-existent red days. And it just like he said, he was right. Time does tell. It's all about reading order flow. When you read order flow properly, you're not going to be right 100% of the time. Okay. I saw one of y'all's questions. I didn't reply to it. But one of y'all, you guys posted a thread asking about the volume footprint and the difference between volume footprint and time and sales. And here's the same question basically. Hey, James, let's say we're right here at the top. Let's say you're like, "Hey, James, look, on the volume footprint, I am seeing a bunch of big buy orders. However, on time and sales, it's showing me a bunch of sell orders, but price disregarded and started to sell through." There are a lot of sell orders coming in here, actually. I'm not going to lie. So if you want to take a full exit, I don't blame you. But there are quite a bit coming in right now. So we do need to be cautious with this right here. But my whole point of this conversation was the reading volume or footprint. It's a nice bonus, but reading order book level 2 and time and sales, the meat and potatoes, those are great, but there will be times where reading the order flow is just, it just doesn't work out. That's happened to me before. Some of the losses I've taken, and I've told you guys out loud, I'm like, "Look, guys, I took this entry because I saw massive orders hit the ask and it's at my key level. Like, that's my A plus setup. Why would I not take that setup? That's worked the last, 98 out of 100 trades. So I don't know why it didn't work on this 99th one. And that's the one where it immediately just pulls back and dumps, stops me out. It was a trade I entered where we were immediately wrong. Like, I literally said, blah, 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 I'm in these. And then the market immediately reversed. And within 5 seconds, I was like, "Guys, that just stopped me out." And I'm sure traders that day were really disappointed. Like, "James, what the hell was that?" But I followed my game. That was my game plan. I took an entry at my level. At my level, I watched for strong order flow. I saw the order flow come in not only on time and sale. I'm sorry, not only on order book level 2, but I started to see the first inkling of that on time and sales, the confirmation. So I took the entry, and it completely dumped and caused a stop loss. So that's just me trying to give you guys some comfort. Like, if you think you're reading this properly and you take an entry and it's completely wrong, that is totally okay. Because again, if that per se was like, let's say order book level 2 and time and sales, let's say it was just 100%. Like, when you saw big orders hit the ask, the move just moved no matter what. Again, everyone would do it. People would have caught on by now. Everyone would be doing it. Now, the reason a lot of people don't do this now is because it's extremely difficult. It's not easy to be able to read that volume properly. So, but I want you to take this in consideration. You are not only using volume footprint. This is just a small piece, a little bonus that can help you. It's basically, now I can turn the how do I try to make this to where it follows and looks clear or not. Come on. I like this because what it's doing is allowing you to see volume within the candle instead of just looking at the candle for what it is, a candle, and basically using the volume indicator here at the bottom to be like, "Oh, yeah, the first candle was high, the second is low, medium volume, and this one as of right now is lower, and we'll see." You know what I mean? And sometimes this is inaccurate. So it's nice to be able to see on an actual numerical standpoint where the volume is sitting. Like, we can see this candle's volume is higher than the previous candle's volume. So that means, for me, at least my opinion, whichever way this candle's direction starts to pick is going to be the legitimate move. So if this thing starts to sell and dump in the next minute, if this thing closes red, that can be a really good place to take a full exit and profit. No reason to let it come back to entry. If it closes green, pushes to the upside and closes above 725, which is a key level if you guys remember from the last few trading days, then I want to keep holding this trade. That should give me confidence to continue holding this trade because we had heavy volume, close above a key level. It should continue to move. So basically just gave you guys a one-on-one on volume. All right. So here's the deal. I would love for you guys to be able to get that 89 points profit. It got super close earlier. Not sure if you trimmed. If you did trim, do not trim again at 89 points. I would wait for 100 personally. 100 points. It went well over 100% on QQQ, but these contracts also lost a lot of value. It's because we got the 620 calls, guys. Okay. They were very volatile from our entry. So that's why you saw it rip so much in our favor so quickly. That's why we were 100% profit literally in 1 minute. I mean, the candle alone at the bottom of the range, it went from 55 cents all the way to $1.65 a contract in one candle. That's how much those contracts moves. So pretty incredible gain there, which is also why I don't understand that these people that's 200% profit in if you got the bottom. Obviously I did not, but that's why I don't understand these trading gurus online that trade with futures accounts. I don't understand. Why would you skip options? They make so much more money. 740 rejection. Look at that. Combined with NVIDIA, 185 rejection on NVIDIA. These two are kind of mirroring each other. NVIDIA and QQQ are mirroring each other right now, guys. SPY is diverging on its own. If you see that, it's just strong on its own. It's not reacting as heavily. Microsoft is testing this breakout again. All right, remember, we have news in 14 minutes. If this trade is not still continuing or whatever, well, basically in 14 minutes, I'm going to determine if we're going to cut it early or not, okay? All right. So I gave up trying to screen record on my computer because it was a nightmare. It would always delete the recording. So I did a full, like, I just downloaded OBS on my laptop and I just recorded the broker on OBS on my laptop. So I'm just going to record it until I log off, but it should be hopefully that works properly. Man, Meta's got this just strength. Meta is not stopping. So Nvidia has that hard rejection now. It's forming off of that 185 level. The market is trying to hold up here. You also want to keep in mind QQQ is at its pre-market high. All right. That green dotted line right here, guys, that's QQQ's pre-market high. So we're trying to basically see if we can hold 620.18. So a hold of 620.18 at pre-market high on NQ would form as 25,729, basically. See that? 25,729 area. All right. Oops, right here. So Tesla, this was 21% profit on Tesla. That's what I saw, at least at the peak. I trimmed into 20%, that's why I was explaining my majority exit for anyone that's new. I don't normally sell the majority of my position at 20%, um, but just wanted to be safe, especially today. All right. There's 100 points for the NQ guys. Um, Again, as long in the next 29 seconds, as long as we can close above QQQ's pre-market high, this green dotted line, I'm confident for to continue the longs. If we close below pre-market high, that's a perfect time to just honestly, if you want to take your win and walk away, it's a great time to do so. Especially if you got in at 702. All right. Especially if you got in at 702, because you would have sat through 10 points of drawdown. And then now you went up about 48 points in profit. A little sketchy here. We want to see this continue right off the open, basically, of the open of this candle. This needs to rip straight through. If this can't rip straight through, I would cut it. If you entered at 702, if that was your entry spot, or 705, whatever, I would have somewhat of a trailing stop loss, just because if this thing pumps back down, there's the odds are it's going to flush it aggressively. Okay. So if this breaks, basically, if this breaks 720, it's probably going to flush all the way back down to 690. So just letting you know to try to retain some of your profits, just in case you're carrying a bunch over. Also, keep in mind 25,741 is a 4-hour level. Let me show you my 4-hour chart. I hate switching screens. It makes it so complicated. You guys see the screen? So here's the 4-hour levels right now as we're moving between them. It's trying to bounce 706, which was roughly where the entry was. For anyone that has the luxury of having multiple monitors, it is really nice to have your normal chart up on one screen, and on another screen, kind of like mine, like this, having a chart dedicated to just, you can be on a smaller time frame. Like this is on a 5-minute time frame, but on this chart, all I draw are levels found on a 4-hour time frame. So this entire chart is just 4 hours. That's it. And that way, when I'm watching this, I'm telling myself, all right, we should be respecting these levels somewhat. Like they should get respected somewhat. So just something to keep in mind with lower volume, right? When opening candles have 2 million on the tape, for me at least, much more clear, much easier to see. When the candle has 700,000 on the tape, it starts to get a little sketchy. Okay. All right, guys. I'm going to go ahead and call it right here. I don't want to sit here and overtrade. I just would rather come back tomorrow for the open session. All right. So for anyone that's coming tomorrow, obviously I'll be here tomorrow. Might be me, it might be Santa, who knows? But someone will be here calling out trades. Um, as of right now, again, I'll just give some trade ideas. The only setups I can see, if it's going to actually bounce this zone down here, you can try to shoot for a basically, if it retests 645 for your entry, or you could take an entry around that next level, 670. So basically where it's closed right now, that's a good candle close. It's trying to bounce here. That's very strong. So you can look for a pullback at 645 or the entry at 670. All right. That's really it. Or for 618 or for 618.90. All right, guys. Don't sit around too long today. If you caught trades with me, walk away now. Walk away now. I'm trying to create some good habits here for you guys. Don't sit on this computer for another 2 hours. It's never the time to do that. And especially not today. All right. Setups, like I said this morning, there were not many. There were not many. So, but we did. What does our one friend Zach say? We smacked NQ in the mouth, right? So we took control of the market today, and we took our money. So we got we're winners today. All right. All right, guys. 1% better every single day. Boom. You guys are crushing it nonstop. I will see you guys tomorrow. If you're not coming tomorrow, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. I'll be uploading a lot of stuff today and tomorrow as well. All right. So the reel I uploaded as well. I'll announce some more winners today. All right, guys. Y'all have a good one. Peace out.